Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Lick Branch Farms. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the fall/winter vegetables that generates probably close to 75% of our winter and fall revenue here on the farm. We also have a couple different, I don't want to say markets, but it's avenues for us to move lettuce through. And we're going to talk about those too. They're not necessarily farmers markets, but they're avenues for us to actually move produce through the wintertime. And it generates a pretty good bit of income monthly for us. But we're going to talk about all that right after this. Welcome back, guys. So I'm gonna try to keep you out of the sun. Lettuce is one of the most lucrative crops that we grow throughout the fall/winter time. Now we grow it through the summer, but we have to fight disease, we have to fight bug pressure, we have to fight bolting. There's a lot of factors that play into it in the summertime. Now we do grow a couple of what they call heat tolerant varieties. Muir, Cherokee, Magenta, all of those guys are heat tolerant varieties. They grow pretty well for us, but they have a very short lifespan. They don't grow, long at all in the summertime before you start having issues with them. So although we do grow a little bit for market, we don't grow as much as we do through the fall and winter. And we have several different opportunities through the fall and winter that open up for us that allows us to grow a lot more lettuce and keep a lot more on hand. And one of those is the food truck business. Now around here, I don't know if it's like anywhere else, in the past 5 or 6 years, you've seen an explosion in food trucks. They just set up all over the place, and they cater to the general population to where they can carry like customized food products to the public, and they're mobile. They can set up wherever they want to. And we have a couple of those that we sell lettuce to, mainly for hamburgers and things of that nature. But we do have a hunting preserve. It's a bird hunting preserve here locally that during the hunting season they have a on-site chef that makes breakfast, lunch, and dinner for these guys, and he has let us supply him with lettuce for the past couple of years, and we have become really close friends with the owners of that hunt preserve, and to the point where they buy vegetables from us for their personal use throughout the year. And I've also got a little surprise I'm going to show you guys. We're transforming this tunnel here into something that I think is going to be really good for us down the road, and I'm going to give you a little insight on what that is. But first I'm going to take you in here and show you the lettuce that I've got on hand right now, that I'm just now kind of generating a good stock of transplants in order to start filling some of these beds up. Now this is a lettuce variety called Magenta. We use it every year, and it's a really good rigid lettuce. It's a hard, I don't want to say hard, that's the wrong word. It's a real thick lettuce, and it can take a lot of washing, it can take a lot of abuse. It looks really good in a bag, and we move a lot of it. It's a green/red type variety. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put a picture somewhere up here so you can see it. So what you see right here is 600 plants. There's 200 cell trays, so there's 600 of those, and you can see they're splotchy. All of them didn't germinate, but we just now started cooling off. The weather around here we've been waking up to the high 40s, low 50s, and it's hanging out in the 70s for highs, so it's really comfortable. But here's another 600 plants. This is Tropicana, and it looked like we got close to 100% germination on these guys. I mean, there may be a void here and there, but what I do normally every day, you see these guys are not sitting in any solution, but this is Muir, and let me get it out of this purple light because I know it's messing with that camera, but that's Muir, and it's almost, that one is 100% germination, but we're sitting on heat mats right now because it's cold out there. But what I normally do every day is I'll transplant or transfer 3 of these trays into the solution, and all that is triple 20 mixed at 1/3 of the rate that I normally use. But it's sitting in triple 20. I'll leave it in there for 30 minutes and I'll take this out and then I'll transfer these into that and let them sit for 30 minutes. And then the same thing there. And you know, I've got 1,800 plants right there ready to go. Well, it's not quite 1,800, but you get the picture. We got a lot of plants sitting there ready to go in the ground, but we gotta have somewhere to put them, right? So we're just starting to ramp up our lettuce harvesting, and you can see how splotchy it is out of these 2 rows here. Now eventually, this whole house will be nothing but lettuce. And I got another project I'm gonna show you here in a few minutes, but this is both of these are Salanovas. This is a Batavia type, and this is a, what do they call them, green leaf or incised. And this right here has been really popular. We have been taking a lot of this to market, and we're not selling it as cut lettuce, we're selling it as head lettuce and putting a red and a green together, and we're getting $5, you know, $2.50 each or $5 for 2. And we sold everything we took yesterday. But this lettuce here has been mainly harvested for leaf production, and you know, it is a little bit added labor because we have to wash it, we have to clean it, we have to dry it, we have to bag it. And you know, we process our lettuce at $12 a pound. You know, just for you guys that's keeping up with numbers, $12 a pound is what we get for it, and we sell it in 8-ounce bags at half a pound, you know, a bag, and that's what we get is $6 a bag for it. But it takes a pretty good bit of lettuce, and it takes a pretty good bit of time to, you know, process that stuff. Now, it's only because of the bugs, it's only because of the disease, and it's only because of the dirt that it's growing in that we have so much time tied up into processing lettuce. And like I said, it takes a little bit of time, and you wouldn't believe it just looking at it, but there's a lot of dirt comes out of this stuff just to get it clean enough to eat. Now, we sell it and we advertise it as cleaned, but we do tell everybody that buys it. Now, we wash it, but we recommend that you rewash it and then dry it and put it in your refrigerator for storage if you're not going to use it immediately. And you know, we've never had anybody come back and said, I found dirt in her, I found bugs in her, I found it. We've never had anybody come back and tell us that. So yeah, we're doing something right. So at any given time here on the farm, I've probably got close to 20, 30,000 lettuce seeds here. I mean, I don't know. It's just something that I keep on hand all the time. Depends on if you got a road comes up. And guys, I'm gonna show you my lettuce stash. Don't laugh, because it works. And well, seed stash altogether, but here's my little industrial freezer, if you call it. It's a big Coke machine, what it is, but it works, trust me. All of my seeds that we use on the farm, everything's in here in buckets, and all this is lettuce. And this is mostly the inside Salanova. All of these are my head lettuce variety, so on and so forth. But yeah, like I said, all of that's lettuce, so there's probably close to 30 or 40,000 seeds in that cooler. And I'm actually going to start some more seeds today because within 2 weeks, Betsy will have all this cleaned out. It'll be time to replant it. The lettuce I got growing in there, it'll be time to transplant it, and then we'll just kind of keep the cycle going. Now, as these carrots, let me carry you out here and show you what I planted the past couple days, but as these carrots, this kohlrabi and this bok choy, I keep having to turn y'all around because of the sun, but this stuff out here in the earth garden matures. Carrots come out probably first. I don't know, the kohlrabi might catch it, but that's Conan kohlrabi, that's bok choy, that's bopak, and those are mokum carrots. These guys are growing really, really quick, so I look to have these guys coming out here in the next 3 weeks at least. Normally we have a big rush during the week of Thanksgiving for carrots. I don't know if everybody's making homemade dishes or whatever, but Thanksgiving week I always have to take 40 or 50 bundles of carrots to market. And I've actually got 2 more rows down here in this tunnel here, if I can ever get the plastic put on it. Something always coming up, and I'm starting new projects, so you know how that goes. You don't finish one before you start another one. At least that's the way I work. Carrots in this one, you can see kind of splotchy germination. Carrots in that one, they haven't even popped up yet. I just planted them last week. Got a little bit of Swiss chard, bright light Swiss chard where the rabbits has done hit, so I'm gonna have to fix that. And I got some green onions left over from a plant that I got out here in this main garden. But all right, so let me talk you through the project. So I've got the heater up, 150,000 BTUs, got thermostat up. The gas company's coming this week. I think she said they'd be here Wednesday to install a 500-gallon tank. They're gonna run all the plumbing to the heater. They're gonna fire it. They're gonna test everything out, make sure everything's good. And then that part will be finished. We'll be able to heat this tunnel for winter production. All right, guys, so we got heat in here. We got lights in here, which I need to add some more, but you come in here, this side of the tunnel's clean. There is no rows left. I've got the transit set up. Well, you know, you got to be asking yourself, what in the world's it got going on now? Well, so I have been toying with the thought of turning this into exclusively lettuce, greens, no more row crop production in this tunnel. And I'll give you several reasons. Now, this tunnel is more efficient than just about any tunnel I've ever had in the sense of heat. Last year I heated this thing with a small diesel fired space heater, and I could maintain a temperature of 65-70 degrees in there. Now I did blow through, so I have plenty of diesel fuel to do it, but if I was to turn this just into a lettuce greens house, then it would be kept or maintained at about a 45-degree temperature, giving me 5 degrees back or forth one way or the other to keep the lettuce and greens happy. I mean, let's face it, you know, most of the lettuce or most of the greens that we grow, they don't need to be kept 70-80 degrees. Tomatoes, they do. Tomatoes need to be kept, you know, moderately around 70 degrees all the time in order for them to, you know, do what they do. All right, so to make a long story short, I am going to turn this tunnel into a hydroponic lettuce slash greenhouse. I've already purchased some of the material needed to get started with, and guys, when I say hydroponics, this stuff isn't cheap. They are very proud of this stuff. So I'm having to start small, doing section at a time. Starting with this section, I'm going to shoot the transit, get this floor leveled up, and what we will wind up doing is going to an NFT system over here. And what that means is a nutrient film technique, which means it'll be channels. And if you look it up, NFT, you'll see what I'm talking about. It'll be channels. The channels that I'm going to start with are going to be 8 feet long. They're 3 3/4 inches wide, and they have tracks that you will place your cubes in. And it's going to be a whole different learning curve for me because I'm used to planting in soil. With these, you don't plant in soil. You actually plant in an Oasis cube or a Rockwell cube that you will stick into these tracks. And what that is that you got a system set up with a pH balanced water that you have nutrients in at a certain level, and you constantly feed those plants through that track with a small film of water that runs through it constantly, and they're able to, roots are able to touch that film and absorb the nutrients that they need to grow. The oxygen can get to the roots. That's a good thing. If you go through, there's several different ways that you can do hydroponics. A crack key, and then there's Pato buckets. They are Dutch buckets, whatever you want. Several different forms of hydroponics that you can get into, but this one is the fastest and easiest way for me to grow lettuce, to generate, because the market's there. The market's out there. I can grow, I can get rid of what I can grow. Not a problem there. It's just outside in rows makes it difficult, more difficult to grow. And then I've got the elements that I have to worry with. I've got dirt, wind, bugs, rain, all that stuff, where I can control this environment and possibly sell a more superior product. That's basically my whole thinking behind going into the hydroponics. Now, we do have vendors that sell hydroponic lettuce at our market, which is they sell a beautiful product, really beautiful, and I've never heard anybody say anything bad about it. You know, we're going to start with this, and then we're going to move on to a few different other techniques, hopefully in some of these other tunnels. That way we can control what we're growing. We can control the elements that influence what we're growing, and hopefully be able to provide our customer with a more superior, better tasting, better appearance product, and we can turn it quicker. The lettuce varieties that we're talking about growing are the same varieties we're growing now. We may move into some more higher end Salanova types, just for the look aspect as far as the yield aspect also. And when we do, I'll kind of tell you what those guys are, but right now, you know, I've got to seed a whole new lettuce batch in Rockwell or Oasis. That's what I chose to use. And I have a whole different germination setup that I'm gonna have to build. I'm gonna build it in this tunnel. You know, all the water system is gonna be built in this tunnel. So it's gonna be a few different videos coming out on certain things. This is a rack that we picked up in Asheboro, actually. We're the same place we bought the the cooler from. Betsy went to Asheboro Market last week, and we had purchased this at the same time we bought the big cooler, but we didn't have room for it. So she went back by and picked it up. This rack I'm going to turn into a germination rack for this for the hydroponic system, and we're going to have lights, and I bought new germination trays and the whole 9 yards for this. The light setup, the water setup, the whole 9 yards, and we're going to actually hard pipe all of that stuff in here. Workbench and all. Got all this stuff cleaned up. I got to get rid of these hoses here, but yeah, there's a lot of work's going to happen over in the next couple of weeks to get this thing ready. But I started small. You know, the beauty of this is that you can add to this system as you go. And in my head and crunching the numbers, I can turn this tunnel into a 300 track NFT system, which means there's 300 track or 300 channels in this tunnel, each channel generating 12 different plants. I can do some nursery tracks that get more than that and get 24 to 36 in, but as far as production, an 8-foot track normally has 12 holes in it, and that gives you 12 plants. So if you do the math, the 50-foot rows that I'm growing in here, you know, 50 plants in each row. Let's just crunch the numbers real quick. If I do 50 plants in a row in here, it would take me 4 tracks or 4 channels to do the same equivalent, and I'm talking about putting 300 tracks in here. So you can see that I'm being more efficient by switching to this channel type operation than I would be ever growing in these rows, because I can only ever, the most I can ever grow in here is 5 rows, 250 plants tops. I'm talking about 300 channels with 12 plants in each channel. Do the math. That's what, well over 1,100 plants just in this tunnel alone. That's a lot of production. So yeah, that's kind of where I was going with this video, to kind of give you a heads up. You know, like I said, I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek on, you know, what we had going on out here. And I should have showed you this while I was over here. All of the tracks are up here on this tunnel. It's ready for plastic. Got these tracks in, everything's good there. Got these tracks in, everything's good here. I started with the side purlins, which I switched. I had this as a support for tomatoes, but probably never going to grow tomatoes in here, so I would put it upside to put a purlin. I got to put another one down that side. Then we're going to start putting plastic on these guys, but I'm trying to take into consideration that probably all that's ever going to be in here is lettuce, in-ground lettuce, or this may get switched to a hydroponic house. Depends on how this goes over here. This may get switched also, or a beta bucket setup, but we're going to keep it in ground for now. But I got to put a fan, I got to put a louver system and a fan in this one, and I got to get the door straight, because I've got the plastic for the sides. I don't have the plastic for the top yet. I was waiting to get that at the end, but in the course of the next couple of weeks that'll be finished, and we'll have the sides on it. We got to, because we got a night in the 30s coming this week. They mid 30s, 36, 34, 36. All right guys, so I'm gonna get off here, fix and go eat. If you like what you saw today, click that like button, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel already, reach over here and click that subscribe button. Guys, we appreciate you stopping by. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.